Okay, so if you're growing a business, there's only really so many ways that you can acquire clients. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the various different ways that you can acquire clients as a B2B business, okay? And this is a sort of go-to-market strategy and the different areas that you can focus on. So I'm going to walk you through what those look like, and then I'm going to walk you through a sort of timeline that you should execute on each one of these things, okay? Depending on the nuances of your situation. So, as a business going to market, trying to get new clients, new customers for your business, whatever it may be, there's only really two forms of marketing that you can do, okay? And this is either outbound or inbound. And that's how you can break it up. You've got either outbound marketing or inbound marketing. So within outbound marketing, you've got sort of four main ways of generating new business, okay? And these are cold emails, cold calls, LinkedIn, social media DMs, or Twitter DMs, or whatever else social media that you use, and then also paid ads or paid acquisition. Okay, so within these, there's obviously pros and cons of each of them, and they may be applicable to you at different points in your journey, and depending on how you're looking to go to market. If you're going to market with a lot of funding, then it may be different to going to market completely bootstrapped. All right. So to walk through these one by one, let's look at cold email first. Okay. So what's the pros of cold email? Well, the first one is that it's cheap. It's very, very cheap to set up a cold email system. You can have a fully fledged cold email system for less than $500 every single month, which in the grand scheme of things, if you live in a Western country, that's very, very cheap. Okay. So it's very, very cheap to set up. It also gives you access to immediate feedback. So if you're looking to test or prove an offer, to find out where you stand within the market and see if you do have product market fit, then it's probably the best way to do this and do it very, very quickly as well. It's also scalable as well to a point. So what I mean is that it's scalable to a point in terms of how big your total available market is. And then within your total available market, how many of those contacts and people can you actually get emails for? So it is scalable, but to a point. Because when you find a script or something that's doing really well for you, an angle that's doing really well for you, and you're generating lots of results, you can scale it up, but only to the point that is your total addressable market, okay? It's also very agile, so the good thing about cold email is that you can test very, very quickly. You can change angles, you can change messaging, you can change your leads, you can change qualification, you can change your CTA, whatever it may be, very, very quickly, okay? This is super powerful. You can change directions very, very fast, and it gets you that again. It gets you that immediate feedback, which is really cool. And alongside that as well, it's also automated. So once you've set it up, once you've written your scripts, once you've launched it, okay, it doesn't require a lot of active input. You should be checking it out, changing things on a sort of daily to weekly basis. But once you have it set up, you can let it run and generate results for you. Now, the cons of cold email is that it's quite technical to set up. So if you don't have any technical background, if you're not very good with IT, there is so many things that you can get wrong, okay? So there's like 10 plus steps that need to be executed perfectly. Otherwise, it's going to be immediate failure, and you're not going to know why you have failed, okay? You might think, oh, cold email just doesn't work, okay? And that's just not true. It doesn't work because you haven't executed on it properly, so it's quite technical to set up, okay? So most people will fail on step one, and then they'll blame cold email as a channel. So that's cold email. Now, the other option here you've got is cold calls, okay? So again, it's cheap. You get immediate feedback. It's also scalable to a point depending on your total addressable market and how many valid numbers you have within that market, and also how many people actually pick up, okay? It's also very agile as well. So again, you can test out different scripts. You can change different scripts. You can test out lots of different things very, very quickly. But, one of the other good things as well is that a lot of businesses are scared to do it, whether that's they're scared to offend their customer or directly sell to their customer, which a lot of businesses are, or they're just too scared to pick up the phone and call in case, they get told off or something like that. Now, the cons is that to get success with cold email, with cold calls even, you have to have a lot of volume, okay? So there needs to be a lot of volume sent in order to actually get results with it, and it's very time consuming. So if you don't have, an hour and a half every single day to do cold calling, then you're going to struggle to generate the results with it. If you have a team to do that for you, then fantastic. But if you're doing this yourself, then it's hard to actually fit the time in for it. Again, cons. Most people are scared to do it. So if you're scared, if you don't like talking to people, if you're antisocial, then it's not a good way for you to generate leads, okay? Unless you just rip the band-aid off and say, screw it and do it. But a lot of people don't do it, okay? And again, it's only really scalable through hiring. You can't really scale it yourself. So you can only scale it by bringing on more people because it is a task that requires humans to do, okay? Unless you're using AI callers, but I don't know how I really feel about those, okay? So it's only scalable if you hire people to do it. So the next option here is LinkedIn or social media DMs. This can be LinkedIn DMs, Twitter DMs, Facebook DMs, whatever it may be. Again, it's very cheap to do. You get immediate feedback. It's also scalable to a point depending on your total addressable market. Again, agile, and it lets you to access hard to reach people. So people that may not have phone numbers and may not have validated emails, if they have a LinkedIn profile, you can DM them and you can message them. Doesn't mean they'll respond, but you can still message them. Now, cons, it's quite hard to separate yourself, especially if you're doing this on LinkedIn and now Twitter as well. Twitter is swamped with, or X or whatever you want to call it, with very, very low effort and sort of untargeted DMs, okay? There's high saturation behind it. Now, again, if you're doing this on Twitter, then typically your target market doesn't really have a lot of money. But if you're doing it on LinkedIn, it can be different because obviously you're speaking to decision makers, people that actually have businesses and people that are active on LinkedIn who typically have more money than people that are active on Twitter or X, okay? And the final option here is paid ads. So paid ads is scalable. It's also pay to win. So this is a pro and I guess a con, okay? You get immediate feedback and it lets you access those hard to reach people, again, just like the social media DMs. Now, the cons of this, it's expensive. So that can be a good or a bad thing, okay? So it's a bad thing in terms of it costs money to do it, but it's a good thing because it's a pay to play, a pay to win sort of scenario, meaning that if you have the capital to go directly into paid ads, then go directly into paid ads and succeed and win and beat out your competition who is struggling with cold calls and cold emails, okay? If you can get directly to them and you can pay to win, why would you not want to do that, okay? So again, the cons, expensive. It's also hard to get right unless you have experience with multiple disciplines of marketing. So creatives, copy, media buying, funnel building, okay? It's not just a case of slapping up an ad and letting it run, okay? That's just not how it works. It's difficult to do. So you have to have you have to have this knowledge of the multiple areas of marketing, okay? But if you can get it right, then again, very, very powerful. So that's the only really way you can generate outbound customers as a B2B business, okay? Now, let's look at inbound. So what do you got? You've got blog or SEO, okay? So again, this is scalable. You can keep writing articles. There's no stopping you writing articles, okay? You can just keep writing articles. You can keep SEO optimizing your website and to the point that you're generating lots and lots of traffic, okay? Pros, another pro is that it's organic traffic. So these are people that have high intent because they're searching actively for things that you guys do. They'll be searching, how do I hire an email marketing agency, okay? And then you will have an article that tells them about email marketing agencies and they'll be directly on your site. So they're high intent people, okay? And it can be huge. You can have access to millions and millions and millions of searches on Google or Bing or whatever service provider you're using, okay? Cons, now, it's expensive if you outsource it. And it's expensive because it normally needs to be done very well because it's very, very technical. So, you know, you'll be looking to pay sort of $5,000 plus per month to get proper SEO for your business, okay? It's a long lead time as well. This is another con. So you're not going to get immediate feedback or immediate results. You won't know the success of it for a number of months. This can be months to even years as well. It can be literally a year before you see any of the effects of SEO. And there's no direct feedback. Now, the next one here is Twitter, and it's kind of bumped in with LinkedIn as well. So I wanted to split them out though because Twitter posting and LinkedIn posting is different because of the different markets involved in it. So with Twitter, again, organic traffic, okay, and it can be huge. So if you can grow your account up, fantastic. You can get access to millions and millions of people, especially if you get a viral tweet or something like that. You can access millions and millions of people, okay? It's also free as well. It's free to create a Twitter account and start posting. There is no barrier to entry here at all. But cons, it can be years before you see significant growth. And the lead quality is likely to be lower unless your ICP is on the platform. You know, if you're creating a coaching program or if you're targeting agency owners or something like that, then, you know, there's a lot of traffic on Twitter that you can target. But I typically find from my personal experience that the lead quality is lower. And if you're going for more traditional industries, then they're not going to be on Twitter, okay? Now, LinkedIn, pros, again, organic traffic. It can be huge. Once again, you see so many people, influencers on LinkedIn that get millions and millions and millions of impressions every single month. How much they convert, I don't really know. I've not got that yet. When I do, I'll let you guys know. Again, it's free. It doesn't cost to start a LinkedIn account. You can start one for free and start posting. And there's also a lot of high value decision makers on the platform, and you don't need to guess because they just tell you what role they are. These are the vice president of sales at this company. You can target them directly with your copy, and you can message them directly from the app. Okay. Now, cons, similar to Twitter, can be years before you see significant growth. It also requires consistent posting. You need to be posting every day, or at least every business day, in order to see success with the platform. And it's very time consuming. If you are not someone that can write copy very, very quick and just blast out ideas like that, then you could be spending hours and hours and hours writing a week's worth of content. You have to weigh up, is your time worth that for the platform, or do you outsource to a ghostwriter and they write it for you? Okay. Now, your next option is YouTube. Okay. Now, this is something that I've tried out myself. This will be on YouTube, this video, and it's a very, very interesting one. Okay. So again, it's organic traffic. There is no real barrier to entry to YouTube. You can literally get a Loom video like the one I'm doing right now and upload that directly to YouTube. You can also get an editor and a whole team of people to create a super scripted, super fancy, blah, 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 blah video. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter, okay? You can see success in both areas. And again, it has the potential to be huge because this can scale rapidly. You could get 2 million views on a video, and that could drive so much traffic towards your business. Now, again, the cons of this side of things, okay, is that it can be years before you see significant growth, and it can be very time consuming. If you, again, can't just sit in front of a camera like I can and just start talking, then you might be nervous talking in front of a camera. It might take you multiple takes. This can be a day that you spend making this YouTube video, and if it gets 3 views, then that's an entire day that you've wasted, okay? And it's also very hard to directly target your ICP, okay? It's not like you can say this YouTube video is only for the directors of sales at B2B SaaS companies, okay? That's just not what you do. You have to put it out there in the market, and it could get watched by 1,000 people in Qatar that work in farming, okay? That's just the way that YouTube works, okay? You can obviously target things a little bit with SEO on YouTube, but it's not as targeted as some of the more direct methods that we talked about just previously, okay? And the last option here in terms of the inbound is referrals. So the great thing about referrals is they're often very easy to close because they're coming in warm and they're coming in with intent. They want your services. Someone's told them that you are amazing at what you do. So it's fantastic, okay? And they're warm. It's brilliant. Everyone loves referrals. Awesome. The cons, right, is that you need clients in order to get referrals, and it normally takes half a year to a year to have developed enough of a relationship with a client in order for them to feel comfortable telling their friends about it. And if you're providing them with such a competitive advantage there, they might not want to tell their friends about it, okay? So referrals are not guaranteed. They're not a way to rely on growing a business. But if you get them, they're fantastic. They're always I just see them like as a little cherry on top. They're a bonus to you running business. They could surprise you one day and you get a really nice referral, okay? So this is really only the only ways of growing a business, okay? These are the inbound and outbound methods. Now, what I've done is I've sort of ranked them in terms of a go-to-market speed list. So I've broken this down into tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 in terms of what you should focus on first if you are bringing a new product to market or service to market or whatever else it is, okay? So again, broken down into outbound and inbound. So within tier 1, so this is the things that you should do immediately, okay? Oh, one sec. I don't know why I did that, but Myra decided to just explode on me. So back to the go-to-market speed list, okay? So within outbound, the first things that you should really be doing is cold emailing and cold calling. Now, the reason that I put cold calling a little bit higher than cold emailing is that there is a lead time to starting cold emailing, okay? You need to warm up your domains for at least 2 or 3 weeks before launching campaigns. 2 weeks to be safe, 3 weeks if you want to be really cautious, okay? I don't really recommend it. 2 weeks is fine. So within that time frame, after you've set up your domains, you've scraped your leads, you've wrote some copy, you've just got time to kill, really. So in that time, what you should be doing is cold calling, because cold calling is going to give you a very quick access to what's working, and that's going to allow you to dictate the scripts for cold email. So you can call straight away and you can get immediate feedback. Are you interested in what I have to offer? It's either a yes or a no. If you're getting a lot of people saying yes, then you know that you have some form of product market fit. If you get a lot of people saying no, then you might need to go back to the drawing board, okay? So once you start to get results with that, you can then transition your findings into cold email. And at the same time, on the inbound side of things, you can also be writing LinkedIn posts and trying to grow your LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is one of the things that people that if you cold call them or cold email them, they're probably going to look up your LinkedIn to see, are you a real person? Are you a scammer? Who the hell hell are you? Okay, they're going to look you up on LinkedIn. So it's definitely worth having some activity on LinkedIn and just showing that you're a real person and that you're writing targeted copy towards the pain points that you're trying to solve. Now, tier 2, once you have solved for these things, these are the sort of primary areas that you can solve for, okay? I would move into the second tier things, and this is when you started generating some business, you've got clients on retainer, you're generating money, whatever it is, okay? This is when I would move into LinkedIn auto connections, and this is where you can be growing your LinkedIn easily by taking leads that you've cold emailed or cold called and just automatically connecting with them. You can use a tool like Wallaxy or LA Growth Machine or whatever it's called to do this very, very simply. And again, if you have an offer that's very, very simple, it's very tangible, easy to understand, then you can also be DMing that directly to people. If you have an offer that's more nuanced, it's more customized, I wouldn't really recommend DMing people. I've tried both, but you get the most success with an offer that's very tangible and direct. Okay. At the same time, you should also be growing your YouTube channel, and if you want to, you can grow your Twitter as well, depending on your market. If your market is industrial mining leaders or something like that, then I don't really recommend wasting your time on Twitter unless you want to do it for fun, okay? But having a YouTube channel is always powerful no matter what, because millions and billions of people are watching YouTube across the world. And it's a great way to build up content and build a parasocial relationship with your prospects. So if they search you up and they find out you have a YouTube channel, they have now access to hours and hours of footage of you talking to a camera, and then them building up trust. They can see that you know what you're talking about and they can trust you and then book in a call with you. So it's really powerful. I find YouTube a very, very powerful source of leads. Now, on to tier 3. So tier 3 is, I've included paid ads down here, but again, paid ads could be up in tier 1 depending on where you are and the sort of context of your go-to-market strategy. So if your go-to-market strategy includes a lot of financial backing, or you're coming into it with a lot of money, then go for paid ads. Go for it straight away and start firing off ads, because you can then create predictable deal flow very, very quickly. Okay, it's fantastic and you can do it really, really fast. And again, in tier 3, what I include in the inbound side of things is SEO, because you don't really want to be investing thousands and thousands of dollars into SEO until you've proven your product market fit and you're profitable. Once you're profitable and you've proven product market fit, then you should start looking at SEO, because again, you can build up that organic referrals, that organic traffic that people are going directly to your website. And in a year, 2 years time, you could have so much traffic coming through that you don't even need to do any outbound anymore, because people are coming directly to your site. I also included referrals down here as well, because it's probably going to take you going through all of this to get to the point of getting enough clients and have spent enough time in order to start generating referrals. So this is the only ways to generate new clients or customers, or however you'd like to call them, as a B2B company. And then this is also what I recommend to do as your go-to-market speed list. So yeah, love to know your thoughts on this, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.